It's even better.
It's even better because we can hear it.
I always can hear it.
Roll it. James.
Welcome back to the Everyman Guys. I'm Jim.
I'm Will.
And this is the first episode in a long time without co-host Jake.
It is weird. Like I'm like
co-host Will
waiting
and moderator
to say
Jeff.
something. I'm like waiting to say something to Ian.
I know.
And he's just not here.
I know. They're
we
not
miss
here.
you guys.
They may call in. It's possible, but probably won't make it. They're on vacation.
Which we normally go on with them.
Yes, this is the year we start a very big podcast and we're hitting traction. We don't go with them that year.
You know what I just thought of? Like literally right
No.
now. It's so perfect that it's just me and you on this one. Because it's basically like
the last one of 2023 and we started the first one of 2023.
Give me five!
Look,
I just thought of that just now.
Look, we are the Everyman Guys. Listen,
Jim,
if
would you have thought?
No.
Give me your mic. Would you have thought at this time
No.
that we would have hats made, a full set? By the way, we're still rocking the Christmas decorations.
Will, we have an intro that rocks.
Yeah.
That's our second
Literally
intro.
rocks.
This was our first. This is. I don't even care anymore.
You know what? This is what we're talking about today, right?
We should just end the podcast now.
That's it. I'm realizing now how much noise this makes.
That's why every time I'm looking at Ian and he's like going like this, I'm like, shut up.
Stop, nail
Stop.
immediately.
I can hear everything.
No, this is so perfect though.
Right? It's the best.
I'm
It's
happy.
like-
I hope they don't call in.
I hope they don't watch this episode.
We kind of wanted to just take time
chill.
to be like, hey, this is what we've been doing.
Yeah.
What have you guys been doing? So
Answer. Tell us what you've been doing. We'll wait.
I mean, obviously we had a Christmas special. So
Yes,
it was like it hasn't been that long.
Christmas special.
We got a ton of support on that video, so that was
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you so much for the comments. Commenting has been nice.
Yeah.
Merch. We've had questions about.
I know
merch,
everyone wants these hats, which we can
we're-
do.
We're trying to get there. We will
honestly
get there.
we're there. It's
We're just
a
trying to
matter of
figure
just
out
doing.
pricing and getting them here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out and we will get that launched this coming year, which is 2024. We are doing this the Thursday before New Year's. It'll be out
Yeah.
tomorrow, which I don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
off has been like obviously not the best thing, but it's been amazing.
Yeah.
Having just time off from work, getting kind
Yes.
of away from the same old.
Yes, agreed 100,000%. I just want to announce real fast so I can, not that I'm hurried to take it off because I stand by the fact that I'm a Lightning fan.
Which is odd.
It is weird. Did I ever
We've
tell
talked
this
about this.
story
You know
on the
what's-
podcast?
Yes, but you know what's
Have
funny is the last time we talked about this, it was when we were doing the podcast, just us two over on that couch.
And I wore a Lightning jersey or a Lightning hat, maybe. Yeah. Well, I don't have to explain myself because underneath, my brother was like, "Oh, I see you're a Lightning fan." I'm just wearing this because Nikita Kucherov, one of my favorite players of all time, just scored his 300th goal. So I'm celebrating. I'm allowed to. And after I said that, I'm going to do this.
Keep the shirt down. You can't see. You're going to get banned.
I got a new Flyers sweatshirt
Yeah.
for Christmas, y'all. I love
Throw
Nikita
it.
Kucherov.
Throw
so
it.
I'm not going to throw it.
No, you
I'm
can.
going to toss it. Even though I love
What a
Nikita Kucherov
beast.
and he's a great player. But I'm all flyered out because I got a Flyer shirt underneath this. Bobby Brink, y'all.
So
I'm
we're
going to
talking
shout out
about-
my boy who got this shirt for me and my other boy who got me the sweatshirt.
It was a good Christmas.
Thanks,
Should
my
we just
guys.
talk about our Christmases?
No.
I got.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm out. Christmas was so good. I
Christmas
slept. I
was
stayed.
I slept, I say.
I'll just say it. I got engaged. Okay, but we're gonna keep it like
Will got engaged
this.
to be
This
married.
channel is about what we're
Sports.
doing on this channel. But I'm just gonna say, so I celebrated Christmas with my fiance's.
Oh,
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Family, and it was awesome. And then we went over to Ian and Jake's house that
Yes,
night, Christmas night.
I was
Such a
there.
good- High five.
Let's go.
Me? Come on.
Come on.
Don't be crazy. But so that's what's awesome. I'm so glad we did the Christmas special because now
Yes.
we weren't that off. Like we didn't even miss a week.
No.
Like this is our
No,
follow
we
up
didn't
to
miss
Christmas.
a week. We did it Thursday. And this is the
True.
next Thursday. We're not
Oh
missing
yeah,
any
we just
time.
did it early.
Yeah. We
But
just
not
released
really.
it a little later because of Christmas.
But Christmas was good. I mean, what we all said what our ideal Christmases
Yes.
were ideally. I mean, it's pretty darn close.
Was exactly on
We
this.
all I got to see pretty much all my family. We got to hang out with Ian and Jake
Yeah.
on Christmas.
I got an electric scooter from my girlfriend.
That was a bomb gift.
That was bomb diggity. It's
Dude,
my
down the
commuter
shore
now.
stuff is gonna be epic.
Yeah.
I got one of my nephews a set of golf clubs. That was so awesome.
Amazing.
Ian sent me videos of him hitting it
That's
for the first
awesome.
time. I was like, that is cool.
Yeah.
That's what makes it. That what makes it fun. Is like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
actually have like
As you get older,
gifts that you're looking forward to give.
giving gifts is really nice.
I mean, really, at this point, like you can just buy whatever you want.
After
So it's
Christmas, I'm realizing I have like 3 Flyers games lined up. 2 presents and then one we're gonna go to in a suite.
dude,
I
I'm
think.
so excited for that.
That's gonna be
actually,
awesome.
like legitimately, very.
I have
excited.
one next Thursday. So
Where are you
shooting
sitting?
the pod.
Where are you sitting?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the ticket yet.
Oh, you didn't even
But-
buy the tickets yet?
No, this is a Christmas gift.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna be going to a Flyer. So, listen, this is a
The
sports
Flyers are
cock
good.
spodcast.
Lis biz
Abort
Morts
Godfrest.
blast.
Fred, we go.
Frank
can't do this.
Von
Well, we can't do this to
Boncatrell,
public people.
Blood blast.
We can do it to each other. We can't do this to
All
other
right,
people.
Go. Normal speak. Go.
Normal speak. I am all flyered up. If I'm being
I
rightfully
think
honest,
for valid.
they have been so flippin' good, and I've been so flippin' happy that they're so good because I can walk around and people be like, "Why are you wearing Flyer stuff?" I'm like, they're like, "Dude, the Flyers," and I'm like, "The Fly," and that's all you have to.
It's like the Phillies in like.
I was just watching a podcast Brian Boucher was on, and he was talking about that time that we talk about. Where Michael Layton, I listened to a podcast with Michael Layton. He was saying that like that time, like you were in a mall and people would just start chanting "Fly" and asking for all. Like,
Dude, that's
was the era we're talking
the
about.
2008 Phillies.
Yes,
It was just like everyone was a
Yes,
Flyers
Everyone's
fan.
a Phillies fan right now.
And like growing up,
Hard
like,
to be an Eagles fan, but we're getting back.
It is such a shame to see like the kids nowadays
That don't respect.
literally don't even know
Yes.
like why there are Flyers fans today. And it's like it's because you didn't live through that era where it was
I
just
agree.
like the Flyers were literally the best team in Philadelphia.
I agree. Ian just texted me. They said they can hop on. It might be for like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna say, let's say hi, and then we're good, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound good, or do you want to just not?
Let's
decide.
Let's let them call. They better come with something amazing, and
Hold
if
on,
they
I gotta make
don't,
sure that
we're
they
just
can
gonna hang
do
up
the-
right on the spot. But anyway, yeah. So this has kind of come full circle as far as the podcast is concerned because James and I started this podcast just because we were like, oh, it'd be awesome to do it, but also we wanted to do something creatively together that was sustainable that we could do weekly. And that turned into just one. It was just like, all right, let's sit down and do a podcast, which was incredibly intimidating, but we did it. And then that turned into 2 episodes, 3, 4, 5, and now here we are. I would say it's honestly the biggest accomplishment that we've made in our creative careers,
Oh, for sure,
like easily.
for sure.
And then there's
This-
like short films mixed in there and just so much that has happened so far that is just, it's very exciting.
Are they on?
Ian,
Can
are you
hear us?
on? Can you hear us?
Etacular?
Do you have to unmute them? Are they coming through a mic or are they just coming through?
Bluetooth. Ian.
Oh, we can't
Ian.
hear them.
Ian.
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 You could just hold them up too.
Yo, you there? No, they should be coming through.
Anyway,
Keep
we got a ton of support on our football challenge, which is like a priority for us to keep doing videos like that. And that was super fun to make. I mean, it takes a little longer to edit, so it's like kind of at this point for us, it's not sustainable to try and do that every week. But we're trying to do it as soon as we're done editing one. We'll move on to another. But yeah, so the podcast is really for us at this point super easy to just shoot, edit, post because we do it all in one night now because we have a permanent setup. It wasn't like before where it was like we didn't even know what our setup was. We kind of just went with what we thought looked good that day. And yeah, now we're here. We have a Christmas special. We had a Thanksgiving special, which were 2 of our most viewed podcasts, I believe. And we have a desk. That's pretty cool.
We have so much now that when we started, we're like,
I honestly
It's
didn't ever think it
insane.
would come to this.
No.
The next thing is like multiple camera angles, which I know would be awesome, but kind of unrealistic for us because like that's kind of been our goal all along is to just do what we're capable of doing and not try to like do something that was above what we were capable. And then we struggle to actually put out podcasts every week. So we didn't want that to stop us.
Ian.
And now we're here.
Is Ian back on? Can we hear Ian? Can we hear Ian?
Is it one of the headphones maybe?
No.
No?
It might be this, though. Ian. We are sorry. This isn't great air, but it's fine because we're figuring this out.
I'm
so-
keeping them occupied.
Yes, you're doing great.
Also, another for the new year. I mean, we have so much planned. We have so much that we're looking forward to. That like
Yeah.
all you guys that have subscribed and then keep watching every single week. Thank you greatly, and because of that, it's like extra motivation for us to keep going. And the next thing that we're trying to do is we're gonna start posting on Instagram more. We want to start posting clips.
We've started
of-
doing shorts.
Yes, and we want to start posting clips of the podcast.
new one is coming out.
Because, like, I understand there's some people that want to see like the best of each podcast, but
Yeah.
don't really have the time to dedicate to an entire one. So it's like we want to give that to you guys because I know I'll do that. I'll definitely sometimes just look up clips of podcasts that I really
Ian,
like.
can you hear me?
But
I can hear you.
Okay, so there,
Okay, so
we're
there-
just going on. You're talking on the phone to the microphone. Hey, we're doing our podcast, and
What
we're
do you
just
guys-
talking about where we're at right now.
Yeah, guys.
from where we began.
give us a year-end summary on where you guys think we're at with the podcast, what you're looking forward to, what you loved about this year.
Okay, Jake, you want to go first? All right, yeah. For the beginning of the year, it was very slow. We were very low budget. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have a desk. We were just sitting on a couch crammed together. Now we have a desk. We've been making a lot of progress. We have over 100 subscribers, one video with at least 1,000 likes or views. Yeah, I think we're doing really good, and I look forward to a lot of like
What
shorts
specifically?
coming up. What?
What specifically are you looking forward to in the new year?
Well, we hopefully we can get to more mic'd up or best like short videos like that football challenge we did.
Same.
More YouTube shorts like we've been doing. We actually filmed a couple today.
Oh yeah, coming to you guys soon.
Our Instagram clips. Maybe a short film. We don't know, but
We're working on it.
there are some things we're looking forward to.
Yes, many things.
Thank you, Jacob.
Jacob. Now Ian.
Ian, hop on.
Are you ready for Ian?
Yes, we're ready for
are
Ian.
we- hold
Oh
on.
my
Should we
gosh.
play music or something?
Do you
No.
want? Do you need like a?
I need like the whole Phillies pump up song.
I was expecting.
Some, okay. Go.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, obviously, like you're not gonna be good your first couple episodes, and it was a little rough. But like, the worst part that I wasn't a huge fan of is we weren't very consistent in like, we would skip a week or we'd go 2 weeks without doing one. It seemed like we kind of just almost did it whenever it worked. To where now it's like become part of our schedule.
We have a podcast night.
Very nice, and obviously that is a huge part of why we've grown so much. But also, like, having the desk, like, you don't realize it until you're, say, part of the podcast and doing it, how much the desk helps. Just
Yeah.
because it's like, you have your own space. You can kind of just, like, interact with the people instead of being, like, crammed together or on your own seat or whatever. I don't know.
Especially for this amount of people. I feel like if it was just me and Will, it still would have worked in chairs. But with the 4 people,
Yes.
You need to be able to
having the
see
desk,
everyone and talk to everyone.
having the
yeah.
desk really helps.
Yeah.
But we've come to the point where we put out one short. It's nearing 2K views,
My
which
gosh.
is amazing.
Yeah.
We have a video of over 1,000 views, another almost 1,000, which we are very grateful for, and I'm
Yes.
very thankful for. We just shot 2 shorts today, which I'm a really big fan of. That will be coming out soon. But what I'm most looking forward to are mic'd up videos.
Yeah.
I
Same.
have so much fun making them. I think they're the most
Yeah.
interesting, entertaining to watch. Dude, some of the ideas we have are really, really awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna kick butt, and that's what the mic'd up video we did has the highest views.
Yeah.
And our golf video that we did when we go out and play golf again,
Yeah, we need
For
to
the
do that
channel.
again, but like all of us.
yes, is gonna be great.
I think we should, like, that golf video was very funny,
Yeah,
which I think is awesome. Like, I think that, like, sometimes we could expand into doing, like, funny sports videos instead
Yeah.
of just, like, actual
Yeah.
competitions.
well, our pickleball video is pretty funny if you like not watching
If you
bad
like
pickleball.
laughing at incompetence.
All right, Ian,
All right, yeah.
thank you. Do we
we can
have
wrap it up.
a moderator Jeff appearance, or is moderator Jeff not with you?
Moderated Jeff is not moderate present
Uh,
with us.
That is okay. We appreciate you guys calling in.
yes, thank you very
We
much.
needed
guys.
you to be on this year-end episode. This is the final episode of the
of
year.
2023, guys.
So, any one last thing you want to say to the fans because they're listening?
I appreciate you very much, more than you think, because this podcast means more than you think to me. I love doing it, and let's reach 1,000 subscribers by this time next year, please.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get there.
All right, Jake.
Jacob.
I say I would like to see at sometime next year 5 straight episodes with 1,000 views.
That's a good. That's a
We're
good
looking
goal.
there.
That's a
Yeah.
solid goal.
Yes, that's a beautiful goal.
I like that.
Yes. All right, guys.
All right,
Thank you
guys.
so
Yeah,
much for
thank you.
joining. Everyone give Ian and Jake a hand. All right. Have fun on your vacation. Okay. Why are we holding the balls?
Because we don't need that much praise.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
See you. That was a
I'm-
total waste of time.
What I'll say is I'm in agreement with him. I think this year coming up is going to be, Lord willing, our year of the
Yeah.
more of the sports, like physically playing the sports
Oh,
and doing
definitely.
like mic'd up videos more. Because that was, I mean, they're so. I mean, it's not easy to edit, but they're so easy to just shoot and do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's just like you're kind of just
And this
doing
year,
because
we
it's
have
well planned.
We have so much learned from the. We did a lot this year thinking
Oh
about
my
it. Like I
gosh.
didn't even think about the pickleball video. We did the pickleball video, the golf video.
I know.
We did less than we could have maybe, but more than we think.
I think though it's.
So next year's going to be even more.
I think the best way to view it and to look at in a sense of like, okay, how much progress did we make? It's literally that first video of
Yeah,
you and
I know.
sitting with that gray wallpaper background
Yes.
and like whatever. It's not like our channel blew up, but it gave us something to pour our passion
Mm-hmm.
into. Like one of the biggest conversations we had was when I don't know if it was when you came to us and you were like, actually, no, it was that time that just you and I, before Ian and Jake were really even a part of it.
Yeah.
We
I
were
was
like-
at work.
yeah.
I was leaving work.
We were like, let's just do an all in one because it was just a podcast, remember?
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, well, let's just do a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then at one point it switched to where it was like, well, let's pour everything we have into this channel so that we can be fulfilled creatively and actually putting out
Yeah.
content that wasn't just something that was like, well, let's just do a podcast every week.
it was back in March, I think. There was another short film contest. Remember? And we got on a call. It was another short film, and we were trying to go through it, and we were gonna put aside the podcast,
Yeah.
but we
Let's
had
not do the podcast.
Not do the podcast. We were gonna focus on short films because that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we had the conversation. We talked about how much we enjoyed doing the podcast, how much we thought, where we thought it could go. And we had the conversation. I said to you, remember I said, let's see where we are around Christmas, the end of the year.
Yeah.
And, we'll decide then if we want to say, all right, we're done with the podcast and be done. And then I was just thinking we'd still be on the couch. We'd still be, and see
I
if we
know.
were
I
enjoying
thought
it even.
same thing.
I didn't even think we'd have 100 subscribers. I just thought we'd be, still enjoying doing it. And what it is now, I'm so glad we took that step.
Okay, so that's
And,
what I was gonna say.
and then later in the year, just switching to sports was huge.
That's I'm gonna clap for you because that was solid. Was it, or I don't know who it was, but
The
either
sports?
way, yeah,
We kind of collectively agreed on the sports.
yeah, because it was like okay,
It was an idea that was brought up because remember,
like you said, there's so much that changed.
yeah,
So there was a few conversations that happened between just you and I
yeah,
that were
because it was just our
huge.
podcast for
Yeah,
a while.
Yeah, that were huge, and then there was that one conversation with. I think we didn't start doing only sports until Ian and Jake were on.
Full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ian and Jake came on, and then we had that conversation, and that is what really changed it for us. That wasn't really that long ago. And that for us gave us a direction to go in, like a very specific direction. So it was like, okay, every short film idea we have, every skit idea that we have, every podcast, it's not like we're not, ESPN or anything like that. Like we're just very normal guys from Philly giving our opinion on sports and stuff that happens and playing fun sports games and like doing like mic'd ups and stuff like that. Like, so it's not like we were ever trying to be like here's the stats from your Thursday night football game last week. Like that wasn't our goal, but
No.
it just gave us a direction of where to head. And we knew that we wanted to be like, number one, we wanted to be family friendly because
Yeah.
that's how we are. Like we
Yeah.
don't use profanity. We don't do any of that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff that would be for only an adult audience.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, okay, well, sports is an easy direction to head in. One, because we all know it so well. We grew up playing sports, watching sports our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very family friendly atmosphere. And like you said, like that was the best thing that we did
Absolutely.
because it's like we really could go in every direction. But
Remember, we had such a hard time early on deciding what to talk about and what not to talk about. And our last non-sports podcast, where it was just us
Can I
two.
see it?
Do you want to know what it is? Guess.
I think I have a guess.
Guess.
Is it the tech?
No, that was this one before this one.
Was it about friends?
Friendship. It's hard.
Yeah,
Episode
man.
32. And then 33 was the game night where we ate all the different things if we got things wrong.
And I don't think that was even when we were sports.
well, that
centered.
was Jake and Ian.
the
And
funny,
then
the ongoing
34.
joke within is that we're sports centered,
Yes.
not sports centered.
Yeah, exactly. The next one was me and you chatting about sports, and that's when we moved over here. That's our first episode.
So was that
Second
when we
episode
switched
over
to
here.
sports?
And then it's we play golf, we try pickleball, and then the next episode is episode 35, where the best place to watch sports, and then it's most disappointing sports memories, and then it's our NFL predictions, and
So
then
that
it's our
probably
NFL
is-
draft from the shore.
So that probably is.
That's
when we
right
started.
around when we started. So 5 months
Well, we
ago,
had
what
to
was
do it
that?
before the draft, right?
Yeah. Because remember, that's a part of what we discussed is doing
Yeah.
fantasy football
See,
for the pod and doing stuff like
like
that.
the reason
Which,
that
by
that
the
was,
way, speaking of fantasy
Oh,
football,
dude, all right, you go first because
Okay.
you deserve to go first.
I
Give some preface
ended-
though. Give some preface
okay.
though.
So me and Will have never played fantasy football. This is our first year. First year, guys, and I was terrible. We were both terrible,
Yeah.
kind of. We were both
Yeah,
last
yeah.
place. We kind of switched back and forth for last place. But I ended the season at 4. And I played number 1, who was Ian,
Yeah, buddy.
in the playoffs. And guess who is in the Super Bowl? Yours truly.
You
Suck
know,
it, Ian.
The only possible thing that could have made this better
Is if
is
you
if,
had...
because you know what's just so frustrating? If Patrick Mahomes literally just did Patrick Mahomes-esque things, and there was a few players for Jake that just dominated. If the projection would have gone as projected, then it would have been me and Jim in the Super Bowl, which would have been just so
great.
beautiful. But it is what it is. At least Jim made it in because I think that'll make it a little more interesting.
100%.
But
You want to know what's good about what I just said and how we brought this up? I just looked at my thing, and my kicker is playing tonight, and he's out. So
Oh no!
I just picked up a kicker. Hopefully,
Oh, so you're
yes.
literally making
So
adjustments
I'm doing
to your
it
team
right
now.
now. But yes, so I beat Jake, or I beat Ian to get. Now I'm in the Super Bowl. Ian was 1, I was 4 all year, and now Ian has to do all of my punishments. Just kidding. We'll talk about it. We'll see.
So another thing is like our going into 2024, if all goes as we hope, we want a lot more non-podcast content. So it's not like we're doing less of the like you'll still get the podcast every week. But we want to do more. Jim's getting a laptop. He's going to be editing all the podcasts. So it opens up us to do more of the mic'd up and short films.
Yeah.
Which
Think
also
of it as the
I
same
really
amount
want
of
to do.
podcasts, just with more like extra stuff.
Which if you have not seen Couch Co-op,
Please go
Please
watch
go watch it.
Co-op.
It's-
I will stand by it.
it's our
as one of
best
our
short
best
film
short.
that we ever shot
Yeah.
together.
And it's super short.
And it's Ian and Jake, the two
Super
main
easy to
actors.
watch.
It's a very
Yes.
relatable short film. So
Yes. If you grew up with brothers or even sisters who played
Yes.
Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, and were like even the least bit competitive, it'll strike a chord. That was one of our best ideas.
what are you looking forward to?
I love where we're at right now. I love the pace
You
we're
love
on right
that
now.
we're set going into it.
I love that Ian and Jake aren't here. We didn't just come here tonight and say, "Oh, well, we'll shoot it when they come back." We're like, "No, we have to put an episode
Yeah.
out. They'll call in if they
and
can."
it's so easy to.
They're down the shore doing shorts while we're not down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's obviously we want to be a part of everything, but if we're going to get where we want to go, we're going to have to relinquish a little bit and be able to be okay with the fact that hey, we're not always going to be in stuff, but we're making stuff.
But you know, it's like what I will, whatever you want to call it, I'll definitely agree with Ian on is that early on, it was very easy to be like literally none of us would even mention that, hey, we didn't shoot a podcast this week. Because it was something that we were just doing kind of. And you know what's funny is like, I don't even know what switched mentally for us, but it was just like, we're doing a podcast every week.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, I mean, we've had how many meetings over there standing up like, this is what we're doing. Everyone's got to be on board. And I think it was that last, I mean, we've been really consistent for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think it was just that last meeting where it was like, hey, this is our logo. This is what we're doing. And we set up a game plan. We had that whiteboard up and everything.
You know what also helped? Trello.
Yeah.
Trello has
Be
helped a lot.
staying organized
Yes,
for sure.
Just seeing
For
what
sure.
we can do and delegating work. It was just something you came to me about because Will was the sole editor.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do more. Like I was the writer when we would do shorts and stuff. So we kind of split the work that way. But now with the podcast, it was like, okay, well, so I took over the podcast as far as just creative, like what we're doing on it, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Who's on whatever. And he just stuck to editing. And we had Ian and Jake doing
The mic'd ups.
Mike
like
Dubs
planning
and
them.
Jeff's playing in shorts, which by the sounds of it, he's doing a great job. That first one was great.
Well, it was just like we all
have a
had our
functioning
hand
plan.
in everything.
Yes.
And it just didn't work. So it was
Yeah.
like as soon as we got to the point where we were like,
Well, we didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
yeah.
I didn't
And
want to.
everyone had that little bit in them that was just like you and I feel like have always been good at it, and I don't feel like we've like struggled with it with
No.
them either. But like, you have to be honest with the
Mm-hmm.
other person. Like, if it's not a good idea, it's not a good idea. And we also had to get to the point where it was like we can't be married to anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you come to me with an idea or I come to you with an idea, you have to present that idea with the mindset of this might not work, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, you need the opinion of everyone else to be like, I know it sounds good to you, but here's why it may not work.
Well, I
which I
think-
feel like helped us a ton.
I think what's helped is you and Ian have that like, let's go do this kind of thing where it's like, let's do everything we can. Whereas I'm more of like, let's make sure we perfect this thing that we're doing. And it's worked really well because we haven't really. There were times where we've slowed down, but like we haven't really stopped trying to get more out there.
Yeah.
Like we've started doing shorts, we've had that conversation. Like, and I was a little hesitant because I didn't know what you guys meant. And
Yeah.
with the podcast, you guys didn't really know what I meant.
I know.
And then when we finally just sat down and like I had that roadmap drawn up and I had that, like, I felt like it all was like, oh, that's okay, cool. Like that's where we're going. And I think that's where it was like, oh, I want to get there. So let's plan on that.
And like I think it's good also that you and Jake, I feel like have a mindset that is very much similar, and me and Ian have a mindset that's very much similar. So it's kind of good because it's like we'll have these ideas that might be a little far-fetched. It's kind of like woodworking and designers. It's like the designer will think of something that's really cool, but you kind of need someone that is like, well, that's fine, but it may not really work.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like you need both of those kind of attitudes
Yeah.
to be able to function, because I mean, I don't think you should ever hold yourself to a certain level because it's like, well, what if it doesn't work? It's like, well, look at this now. It's not something that we would have ever thought.
Right.
But yeah, I think that also really helps.
I
But
think going forward, what is helping is right now we're so solid with the podcast.
yeah.
Whereas we're sitting on that old couch, we're like, what's the background going to be? How do we switch this up? We're like, should we make lockers? Should we do this? Should we do that? And I feel like this is like the perfect set for the space we have, for the people we have. This is the perfect set
Yeah.
for the style that we're going for. The lighting is perfect. Everything is just perfect.
Yeah.
That's true. Good point.
Subtle, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my main thing is just the consistency is there,
Yes.
and it's just like the only thing we're really lacking is the capability to just be editing 24/7.
Yeah, which is
And it's like,
happening soon.
I know, and it's like as soon as we can get to that point, it's like there's not really anything that's holding us to
No.
doing everything that we want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's crazy. It's
crazy
It's
that we're
crazy
here
that
now.
it's
When we get to our
even
official
just
year,
outside of it.
yeah,
I know.
When we get to our official year, we're gonna do maybe
we'll
do
do
something
a-
special.
We'll do a celebration.
Should we talk a little sports?
We,
It's a sports podcast.
you know what I was gonna say is I obviously the Eagles played on Christmas, so I wasn't like diligently watching.
But you were watching. Are we doing this? Are we diving right into the Eagles?
I mean, I was gonna say I don't really know what like. Did that game really even tell you anything?
No, it told me more negative than it did positive. If I'm being honest,
Well, I said that they were gonna kill the Giants because I truly felt.
that they should, and they should.
I felt because I did say I said I was scared against the Seahawks. I could
Yeah.
see them losing.
Giants.
I thought they were going to crush the Giants. I thought it wasn't even going to be
Yeah,
close.
and I thought
then-
that was going to give me hope for the rest of the season, as them being just like they're going to crush the Cardinals and then crush the Giants again. But I'm not sure. They could easily go to New York and lose. Easily go to New York and lose.
Who do they play next?
The Cardinals this week. I don't know if it's here or there.
I don't know that it matters.
I don't think it does.
But
It's Jonathan Gannon. So that's a
the
question.
only thing is what?
do we undervalue Jonathan Gannon? that was the start of like no, but then you're like, wait, did we?
Well, that's a good point.
Like, did we undervalue him? Was he better than we thought? The defense was good last year because it was the personnel, and then this year
The
we're like,
defense
whoa, the
is
defense
worse
is bad.
this year.
For sure.
That's what the game. Okay, so that's what I learned from the Giants is that
The
the
defense
defense,
is-
like what?
Their
just-
their cornerbacks are pretty good though. Those two young ones, you could see some. So Kelly Ringo was pretty good,
yeah.
but it's the Giants. So how good is he?
I don't know. I feel like I was like searching. I was watching the highlights of the game
Mm.
right before you came, and I was just like, I didn't really watch it, so I was like, oh well, I wonder what happened in this game. Like, what's
Yeah.
our takeaway from the game?
I do
And
that.
my takeaway is that the defense is terrible.
I did that every year. Like every year for the Eagles, I would watch highlights of games. I can't find a game this year that I'm like, "Ooh, I love that."
I
game."
know.
I'm like,
that's so true.
If I
I
go
literally,
back and watch that game,
dude, I was
that'll
watching
scare
highlights
me.
of every single game.
Same.
But
But yeah, it's scary.
how about
the
the
playoffs
Phillies?
are going to tell. Yamamoto signed with the Dodgers.
That-
the Phillies are
I
in
know.
such a place that I'm like, I'm just waiting
But
for
like
the season.
really, yeah, like really, who cares?
I don't care. The Dodgers are going to be
like
terrible.
it would have
anyway
been awesome.
in the playoffs.
It would have been awesome if they got him, obviously. But
Yeah.
like
There's still other players out there that they could go get.
It's like the Eagles at the end of their year. Last year, it's coming in.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't really need to do anything different. You just need all the players to be on the same page. You need a
Yes.
good clubhouse. You need
Trey Turner's going to come back. He's going to be way better than he was last year. It's almost there's
They're
no way he
definitely-
can't be.
like-
Harper's going to have a full year at first. It's gonna be
ideally
fun.
they're set up to be better than they were last year.
Yes,
just
100%.
because of those two reasons.
And bringing in new people can kind of mess with mojo.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
happy
like
with
that's
where
the
they
most
are.
important thing for them.
If they bring a guy in, then I'm happy too. Like depending on who it is, like they could use a guy off the bench, a power bat off the bench. But I'm happy where they are. Sixers?
I need to get.
No.
I just-
What's Embiid out for? Is he hurt? Is he
I don't
sick?
know. I don't know.
Or is he just taking time?
Probably. He's probably hurt. They don't really. I don't know if they'd be sitting. Maybe they would.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Sixers, like, I want so
Yeah.
badly to watch them and like get into them, but
It's kind of like wait for the playoffs a little bit.
yeah, but that's the problem. Is
It's
like
the
I think
playoffs,
that's
yeah.
what's happening. Is all the players say it, the coaches say it, and it's just like, all right, well,
But then what do you do?
why would I care? It almost just seems like
Yeah.
bad marketing for the NBA. I know they tried to bring people in, and maybe it's just me. It could
Right.
very easily just be me, but it's like
Yeah.
I think most people were kind of going into the Sixers season
Thinking that.
oh well, why the Sixers aren't going to do anything this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I wasn't motivated going into the season. So I'm like, now I got to find motivation to watch the Sixers, and I don't know. Normally I'm like, yeah, I'll watch them if they're on, but lately it's like even if they're on, I don't really care. I mean, I've been watching basketball in general, and like
Yeah.
if they're on and I'm in the mood to watch basketball, I'll watch them. But
yeah.
it's almost like before when they had Harden, it was just like you never know what could happen. And now I know this year it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But the problem was leading into the season.
Uh-huh.
I was just not motivated to watch. Flyers we already covered.
Flyers are playing tonight. This week is going to tell a lot about the Flyers because they are starting their West Coast Canada trip. So they play Vancouver tonight. Vancouver is #1 in the league.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Crazy. They play Vancouver, Calgary, Seattle, and then somebody else out west. 4 teams.
Avalanche?
No, it's a Canadian team, I think. No,
Oh,
not a
in
Canadian
Canada?
team. Winnipeg, Seattle, Vancouver. I don't know, but this is usually where you see how good the Flyers are.
Yep.
Is how they handle this. Maybe it's the Oilers. But they've been so impressive. Torts has got the boys
Paul's
rolling.
got the Tigers on the move.
Paul's got the Tigers on the move. And you know what has done, and it's a beautiful thing, and I just want to thank the Flyers for doing this year. They have reignited my love of hockey. Like, to
Because
be
they're
honest,
good for no reason.
to be honest, baseball was starting to be like, well, the Flyers suck. So like the organization was in a horrible spot.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care about the fans. And the players were just it was just like everyone was annoyed. So like it affected hockey for me where I was like, hockey's just falling down the line for me. I still love the sport, but like watching it, it's just kind of like, well, the Flyers suck. This like the MLB was becoming my favorite sport.
Yeah.
Baseball was. And then this year, I'm just like, this is why I loved hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm watching hockey podcasts. I'm watching old clips of like it's just the best. It's hockey's my favorite, and it's come back full steam now that the Flyers are actually good, and they have a stable structure. Even if they don't make the playoffs this year, I can at least say they're rebuilding and they're looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for Matvei Michkov. I can't tell you how excited I am for him now.
And it's going to
Cutter
be here
Gauthier,
before you know it.
Yes.
My whole thing with the Flyers is the same thing it was with the Phillies and the Sixers. Is like, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Because they're not like set in stone with who their team is yet.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to get into it. It's hard to commit time because I'm like, I don't even know who I'm watching. I could just
Right.
watch any other team play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully hopefully this is the year that they get it.
They
like,
have a
rolling.
very good chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah. I heard that. I heard
They
that
have
it
a
was
very
I was like, well, you at the same time, it's like it's definitely a gamble. Like, well, do we trade to try and get to the playoffs this year?
already
or
said
do we
they're
just-
not.
Yeah, I think that's smart because I feel
Yeah.
like you already committed to go through this rebuild.
Yes.
It's like just take the time that you need to do it, and you might be 2 years sooner than you expected.
Yeah.
So it's just like
the
I would
question
just do it.
is, do they trade at the deadline or not? Because if they trade at the deadline, then I'm like, yeah, they probably won't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if they if they wait for the offseason,
Yeah.
they have a very good. The thing with the Flyers right now is they have so many young players that are just bought in, and they're just like, yeah, let's go out there. And Tortorella is the best coach for that because he's not really handling egos because there's really no ego to have. Like, what have you done? Versus Tortorella, who's won a cup.
That's true.
And he's coached.
That's true.
Like somebody said a stat the other day that the lifespan of an NHL coach for a team is like 2.5 years.
That's insane.
Tortorella's
average?
average 5 years. He spent years with Tampa. He spent years with the Rangers. He spent the only one that was short was Vancouver. He only spent like a year there. But then he went to Columbus and coached there for like 6 to 7 years. So everywhere he's been, he's coached a long time. And he's had a lot of playoff success.
Where was he just last?
He was in Columbus. And he got fired and waited like a year, and then he came here.
Dang.
Yeah. But they always overachieved because he was just that good of a coach, like to get his players going.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the Flyers lacked the
Yes.
last few years that they were
Yes.
trying to figure out. Oh, well, it's like, who is the last guy?
Alain Vigneault.
Yeah.
Which I've heard stories. So, like, yeah, exactly. So, I don't know where they're going. I don't know if this lasts this whole year, but even so, they've got me excited. They've got my attention, and I'm willing to be like, okay, Danny Briere and Keith Jones being
That's
the head,
awesome. Yeah. I know
being
we
the heads
talked
of
about this
the
already.
being the heads of the organization.
Yeah.
Loving it, loving the coach, loving the players.
That's the last
Is that it?
episode of this year.
And we ended. Who would have thought we would have ended our last podcast of the year talking about how good the Flyers are?
Flyers.
That's crazy.
We started
With hats, and
with
you're
hats.
starting a new chapter in your life next year too.
You know what? I appreciate everyone that is positively interacting with our podcast, with our channel in general. Everyone that is being
Positive.
positive towards what we're doing because it's awesome, and we know that there's always going to be the other side of that.
Yeah.
What we just doing what we do. Yeah, it's crazy.
The
Coming around on a
positivity
year.
is great, and the amount of people that have come up to us and said stuff in person, and the comments and the likes, all of it just shows that like you could just not say anything.
Yeah.
You could easily not say anything, and we appreciate the heck out of the fact that you say something and that you're supportive, and it means so much to us. It means so much to Jake and Ian. It means so much to Jeff.
Yeah, like we're just trying to just do what we love. So
And-
it's like
and we're doing
it gives
it,
us
so-
something to push to hone in on our creativity and
Yeah.
like something that we're passionate about. So
Yeah.
we appreciate everything. Make sure if you are not, you subscribe.
Hit that bell as well.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because when we upload, if you hit, should we like? I was thinking like, do they even know what we mean when we say it? Basically, when you subscribe to our channel, there's like an option to hit a bell, and what that bell does is it lets you know
That the
when we
Phillies hit a home
post,
run.
and if you know that if you do that, you'll know without
Yes.
having to go into our channel.
You're
and make sure you
allowing
like,
notifications.
comment something positive. It can just
Yes.
be like something awesome that happened in your day.
Tell us about your Christmas.
Yeah, let us know
Yes.
something cool that happened.
Tell us
It's-
how excited you are for the
we would
Flyers.
love it if you
Yes.
took time to say, "Hey, this is something positive that happened recently to
Yes.
me." And
And wait, this is the last one of the year.
thank you. This is what we thank you, and thank you for watching the Everyman Guys. We'll catch you on the next.
next one.
Should we do like a handshake for this one?
Yes.
Solid.
And
Thanks
we're-
again.